4 back-to-back exercises, and we just want to work all your core muscles in sequence. We'll repeat it for 2 rounds, and we're just going to bust everything basically. Going to start on your hips. So if you bring it down so that you're lying down on your back, get your legs as straight to the sky as you can, and just do it a minute of single leg lowers. So just keep your back as flat as you can, bring it up as straight as you can, so you get your hips working in isolation. Think about pressing your lower back down into the deck. So you're really trying to press your spine down, and you really want to feel those abdominals engage. If you feel this in your lower back at all, you can bend your knees if you need to and bring it into toe taps, but just really think about imprinting that spine down. Ideally, keep your legs as straight to the sky as you can, and then you'll really work the top of your hip flexors. They typically get a bit weak and tight, especially if you sit a lot with work, or you just sit a lot in general. And they're muscles we really want to try and develop and strengthen if you want to strengthen up your core properly and flatten down that area below your belly button. Excellent. Just doing a minute of these. Keep putting that down. From there, take it straight into a plank. So if you bring it onto your forearms, beginner plank, start with your knees on the ground, hips in line with your shoulders, and you can still really work your tummy muscles. It's a bit greasy. And then from there, if you want to progress it, pick those knees up, keep your abs nice and tight. Think about squeezing your glutes. That'll really engage your tummy muscles a lot more. And with your forearms, imagine you're trying to pull the ground towards you with your forearms, and you should really feel that tense up those six-pack muscles. We've got 20 more seconds. This is one of the most effective ways to strengthen your core. No crunches in sight, and you're just making those abs a really nice sheet of muscle. Tense it as much as you can. Excellent. From there, transition it down onto the deck, bring it into a skydiver. Lie on your front, pitch your arms out to a letter Y, pitch your legs out to a letter Y, and then raise your limbs enough that you ask yourself why the hell you're doing this exercise. Fantastic exercise for working your glutes and your posterior chain. As you hold the position, try and slide your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Don't know if you can hear me over the military helicopter going over. And then start to crisscross your ankles. If you want to make it really fun, start crisscrossing those ankles, and you should feel that burning either side of your butt if you're taking your legs wide enough. Try not to crunch your shoulders up, keep it back and down. Excellent, keep working your glutes. Get those posterior muscles, really important part of your core. Excellent, and then bring it straight into a side plank. So we want to work your obliques next. They're the muscles in your waist. If you find this challenging with your feet stacked, bend your bottom knee, lift it up, and get a nice straight line from your knee to your hip to your shoulder. Raise that top leg, and that's going to work and engage those glutes again. We're just going to do 30 seconds on each side on this one. Progression, just lift it up, both feet stacked. And then if you bring it onto the other side, so just lift that up, both feet stacked. Need to take it down a notch. Off of the knee that's closest to the ground, raise your top leg. If you want to progress it, hold it in a leg scissor. So you hold up that top leg, so your legs look like a pair of scissors, and then that really gets your glutes, your butt, and it really works those muscles in the side of your waist. Excellent. Coming up to the 4-minute mark. So that's round 1. Take it straight into round 2. So if you bring it around onto your back again, legs up straight, elbow pits turned up towards the sky. If you've done any yoga, get those arms in corpse pose. It's just a really simple way. Add a bit of external rotation on your arms, and it keeps your shoulders back in their sockets where they belong. Try and stand this timer up again. Really doesn't want to stand up. Not that you can probably see it. It's good to have a little timer going. We've got 30 more seconds. If it's really starting to get the tops of your hips, you're doing this right. It's getting the top of my hips because I've just done a bunch of hanging leg raises in Battersea Pull-Up Park which is awesome if you've not used it. It's just over by the athletics track. Keep imprinting your spine down. Keep that back as flat as you can. Keep those legs as straight to the sky as you can. Excellent. Straight round into the plank again. On your forearms. Glutes nice and tight. If you want to progress this one, you can make it a little bit more challenging by bringing it into a rocking plank. You bring it forward onto your toes, take your gaze past your fingertips, and then rock your gaze back in line with your elbows. And just get that subtle little soaring action forward and back. And then that shreds your tummy muscles a little bit more. Keep rocking that in and out. This really wasn't a good idea after hanging leg raises. My abs feel like someone stuck glass in them. I'm sure they'll thank me for it later. Keep rocking that forward and back if you want to add a progression. If you need to take it down a notch, knees on the deck. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders. You can still really work your tummy muscles. Press those forearms firmly down. Excellent. Into a skydiver again. Pitch your arms out to a letter Y. Pitch your legs out to a letter Y. Lift all your limbs up as high as you can. Try and get your chest away from the ground. Lift your thighs away from the ground. Pause in that position for about 20 seconds. Slide your shoulder blades down towards your back pocket. So don't scrunch your shoulders by your ears. Think about actively engaging the middle of your back, your lats. And then start to crisscross those ankles as you hold that skydiver position. Don't focus on the speed, focus on the range of movement. So the wider you can take your thighs and the higher you can lift them, the more it's going to challenge these glute muscles. If this feels a little bit uncomfortable lying on your front, just roll up a towel, stick it underneath your hips. Good job. 10 more seconds, keep those legs nice and lifted. You should feel a little bit sweary if you're doing this one right. Excellent, and then finish in that side plank. Feet stacked. For a progression on your side plank, your leg that's closest to the ground, bring that forward. Have your top leg back, and then you can bring it into a side plank knee tuck. This is a great way to work the top of your hip again. Again, hips, we usually really weaken our hips because we spend a lot of time sat at that angle. These muscles get tight. This is a great way to progress it. Side plank knee tuck, bring it around, take it to the other side. So feet stacked for that progression. The leg that's closest to the ground, have in front of your leg that's on top of it, and then bring it into that knee tuck again. So just bring that knee right up in line with your hip. Good job, just 15 more seconds, and then in 8 minutes, you've done the whole band of muscle that wraps around your core, strengthen up your hips a bit as well, and we got your shoulders working. Excellent. And we're all done.